All right. Live at 5. When you come in here, let us know where you're watching from. Do us a favor, hit the like button. We have a few things we're going to be talking about today. Wood frame homes, what you're looking at right now. This is going to be the first topic that we're going to be talking about. So make sure you come in here, hit the like button. Let us know where you're watching from. 3 places, Corey. I'll let you go first. Be my
Oh, I
guest.
get to go first today.
Yeah,
Okay.
be my guest.
Okay. All right. We're going to say Boston, Massachusetts. I think we're going to get someone up north today. We'll go with our international today. I'm going to say Barcelona, Spain. And then I'll stick with one in Florida. And we'll go ahead and say Jacksonville, Florida.
Jacksonville. When you say Jacksonville, you got to say Jacksonville. You got to say it with the.
Duval.
I'm going to go Bimini.
Okay.
I'm going to go Hialeah, Florida.
Okay.
Down in Miami. And then I'm going to, you have to have like either have like a Northeast or a Midwest. What are you feeling?
Yeah.
Give me one, Northeast or Midwest, and I'll tell you.
Go with the Midwest.
Damn. Let's
I
go
got the
Chicago,
Northeast.
Illinois.
Okay.
All right.
That's good.
Let
That's
us
good.
know where you are watching from when you guys pour in here. Hit the like button for us if you could. A question that I have, well, actually, I'm gonna wait for some people to pour in before we do that. Now, something that I do have for everybody, make sure you go to morefla.com, check out our blogs right here. If you are somebody that likes our community breakdowns, we are dropping a lot of our community breakdowns right here. Corey, you need to check this one out too right here. So Seaflower in Bradenton, Florida, we did a breakdown on this one.
Okay.
And has to be the closest new construction community to the intercoastal. You have to watch this video right here. So they have Pulte's in there. We did a breakdown on, what was the builder that we did this breakdown on? Let's see here. There's David Weekley. I don't know how I don't remember that. It's one of my favorite right there. Either way, go check this one out. Look at this shot. Look at this shot from the thumbnail here. Let me go back. All righty, I promise you. We'll get that part figured out. Either way, go to morefla.com, check that out. Check this thumbnail out. This is the community right here. So there's going to be like Publix in there. There's going to be shopping in there, dining, and you're this close to the intercoastal, and it's all new development. It's not like 50 homes. It's like hundreds of homes. So make sure you guys go check that out. Let us know where you guys are watching from. Also, you can shop homes there as well. What was that?
What type of builders are going to be in the Seaflower community? Are we doing like entry levels,
No.
builders?
The most entry level builder in there, I think, is Pulte, I believe.
Okay.
That's the most entry level that's in there. So everything is kind of level 3 and up. There are going to be some townhome options, as you know. Like there's not a lot of like customizing townhomes, so that might be the most entry level in there. But take a look at that blog, take a look at that video. If you guys want those breakdowns, go there, because we're not releasing 10, 12, 15 of them a week on YouTube. So make sure you check that out. All right. So a question that I do have for everybody. What's your thoughts on this? What is your thoughts on this? Actually, one of the questions of the week on our, let's see, one of our social media platforms. I'll go ahead and read a few questions off real quick, and we'll get those things answered here. So actually, I had a short form piece of content that was on this right here. We were breaking a community down. Lennar's building this home. This is a wood frame home. And it's the question that we got from Cigars R Us 111 was, how does that meet building code? It's my understanding that first floor must be CBS. Second floor can be wood frame. I would only buy solid CBS, both levels with aluminum studs, never wood. That was actually on our Instagram right there. So like CBS, so it's not building code to have concrete block on the first level. That's not code. Is it preferred by people? I don't know. I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section, but let me know what you guys think about this. And then a question that I have for everybody as well is, if you're like this guy and he only wants block on block, which builders do you have to work with in the state of Florida? Which national builders that are not custom builders, that are local, you know, and don't really go beyond their area to build like one-off home? Which builders do you have to work with? I only have one name that's in mind. That's in mind, and it's on this street right here. Corey, you recognize this street?
It looks very familiar. Is this in Winter Haven?
It's in Eagle Lake, but they build, this is
Okay.
America's #1 builder. So if you are somebody
Yep.
that wants block on block, no wood frame up top, and you want a national builder that's not a custom builder that's going to tear down a home and build it in a local kind of custom builder, D.R. Horton is the builder that you're going to be wanting to work with. Other than that, mostly all national builders that are in Florida are going to build a block on the first story and wood
Right.
frame on the second story. And in Central Florida now, you have this right here. You have Lennar building all wood frame homes. So very interested in seeing what everybody thinks about. What's your thoughts on that, Corey?
I wonder what the reason is that they're moving to these all frame homes in an area where they're still building homes that have block on the first level. So I'm interested to what the purpose is for the builder to make that decision. I know it's got to come with more affordability for the buyer, and it is in Central Florida, not as close to the coast, where I think the codes might be a little bit different. But personally, I think it's kind of strange. I think it's strange that they're moving to that, and I think a lot of people aren't
It's a
going to
weird
be.
move.
They're not going to be sold on it. I feel like it's going to be a tough sell for this builder to try to explain the reason why. One thing I already heard was, you don't get the ugly stucco colors. You can now have siding or something on it. I'm like, but in Florida, is that going to be your most important thing when you're talking about the structure of your home?
I can promise you this, just going off of the basic worries that people have in
Yeah.
Florida, snakes, bugs, and hurricanes, right? And although we
Yep.
know that this wood, well, obviously we have to get it inspected and all of that stuff, but like wood frame doesn't mean it's not going to hold up. They're probably
Right.
stronger than you may think. Actually, my father-in-law's house is a wood frame home and it's built wonderfully. But man, this is going against what the majority of the people would consider to be safe, right? Like they go
Yep.
against the grain on this one. So, as you said, kind of strange. I'm interested in seeing how the market responds to this because they're not, this is Lennar. This is not a builder that's going to build and just like, did that work? They're going to build and then look back after a while and be like, okay, cool. We have a bunch of these. We need to get rid of them. And if nobody's buying them,
Yeah.
like what's going to happen?
And we know a few
Somebody in the
communities
comment
where
section
they're
said,
transitioning right now. Go right
go
ahead.
ahead. I'm sorry, Corey.
I would just say we know a few communities where they're in that transition right now, so you can still get some of the block ones that are in their inventory, but after those are gone, the rest of the community is going to be all frame.
Somebody says just passed that house a few days ago and was shocked. So hey, look, I'm interested in
Yep.
seeing. Once again, everything has a price point on it, so they may be asking a price that they think is right in their head, but if people do not press into that product there, then it's going to have to go on sale for, whatever somebody's going to buy that. Or it may do numbers, Corey, and we may just be like,
Yeah.
we may not be the guys
Exactly.
that know what's going on around here. We don't know that.
Think.
Okay. With that being said, real quick, before we start talking about the main topic of today, which is the process of building a home, in particularly the level 3 process. So finding a lot, structural options, design studio. I want to show you guys what it would look like when you go to More FLA and you go to Home Shop. It's very simple. You type an area in. Let's do a 4-bedroom, 2+ bathroom. Let's go 3+ bathroom, right? Let's apply that filter there. And then here goes your spread of homes right here. And every once in a while, you'll run across a really, really good deal. Groveland, Mattamy Homes in Rainwood. There you go. There's a good deal on that. But you can shop many different ways. You can go to photos, so you can take a look at the photos of the home. You can go map, so on and so forth. Hello from Frankfurt, Germany is with you.
Frankfurt.
Thank you for stopping in here. All right, with that being said, actually, I had one more question that we got on our Instagram, Corey. This is going to be a good one for you. Somebody asked, because they actually watched one of our videos, who is the top level 3 builder? Ooh, what a tough question. What a tough question. There's not going to be a right answer to this one. Do you have one?
I have a couple in mind that I would say. One of them you're going to put on the screen right here. But it does come at a premium. So, you're paying, I would say, probably 20 to 40% more in their design studio as you would with maybe some of the national builders. So we're talking about a local builder, but I think what sets them apart is the fact that they're local, they're customer service driven, they're very responsive to the market. even going through this construction process with one of our clients, I was able to meet with the construction manager several times over the 8, 9 months that the home was being built, where was able to talk to me a little bit about the soil, dirt, sand mixture that they use that kind of sets them apart from the other builders. The process of putting on a tile roof versus the architectural shingles, how that affects the home in the settling process, considering that it is substantially more weight than putting on the shingles and the roof, and really getting to learn how they build these homes and why what they do in their process sets them apart. So going through that experience,
So are we crowning
I've
them?
kind of leaned into. I think I've
You're
been leaning
crowning
more
them? Are
into
you
it.
going to say that they're in
I
that
might
top
crown them.
tier?
I might crown them. But look, I go to all of these builders walks. It's always educational for me to get in there with the construction managers and ask the questions why, and ask about the materials, ask about the timing of it. So I think they do a great job, but at the same time, a lot of our clients look at this builder and they can find something very comparable with one of the other semi-custom builders. And a lot of the time it's going to come at a more affordable cost. Like you said, it's not just the floor plan and the lot. You got to make structural changes and then go to design studio. And what even this weekend, working with one of our clients with a semi-custom builder, we were able to learn that, hey, the builder they were working with was including things in their design that many of the other builders don't. That's including 8-foot doors throughout the home. That's usually a structural upgrade you're paying $5,000 to $10,000 for. The gourmet kitchen was included with this builder, so another $20,000 that you're not spending in design studio. The rough-ins for the outdoor kitchen, the gas line, the plumbing included with the builder. So I think it really depends on everybody's personal situation, your personal taste, and then what you're trying to achieve when you're buying. And that's when we can really come to play to hone in on the exact builder, the exact home community, and then kind of guide our clients through that design process to make sure you're not, hey, spending more than you need to. You don't want to over shoot the price on your home, because then you can run into some appraisal issues when you close, depending on when you purchase in the community, what the other floor plans around you that are similar or comparable are selling for. So there's a lot of choices that you make when you do build a home, from choosing the lot and buying the dirt all the way to completion. But you got to have some representation and someone that knows the process and is working every weekend in these communities with multiple different builders to have the knowledge and have gained the experience to guide you in the best direction.
So to answer the question of the person, and the reason our answer to questions like that, because people, by the way, this is a pure Q&A for everybody, right? Like, take the
Yeah.
time, ask questions here so we can get them answered for you. Do not wait until we're about to say goodbye and then the questions start to flood in. But to answer the question, who is the best level 3 builder? This is why we have to re-answer these questions again, because the builder
Yeah.
that Corey's talking about doesn't even build in the Orlando area, right? They build,
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's, yeah, so they build in the Tampa area. And so, like, if that question was from somebody that's in the Orlando area, it doesn't really help them. And
Yeah.
that can kind of tear down to a multitude of things, right? Like, what do you want a balcony on the back of your home? Do you need this? Do you need that? And so there's no real good answer to that, right? And once
Yeah.
again, construction manager matters the most. But Corey's going to go ahead and crown Homes by West Bay top 3 builder, and that's his favorite builder as well. And they're a
It
really
is.
good builder for many, many reasons, and I think they check a lot of boxes in our book. Being local is definitely one of them. So hopefully that did answer a question. Now, Corey, let's go ahead and just, you've already kind of dipped your toes into it, but talking about the to be built process, how important it is to obviously have representation on your side, but like, what are the things that people should look out for that they might not look out for, right? A lot of these people that are buying homes are excited. You go there, it's
Yeah.
fun. You're in the model home, and you know the presentation that the person is giving you is really nice, and there's 3D on the wall, and you can just kind of smoothly go through that and miss the important stuff.
That's it. And if you walk into these models, they do have some really good sales reps. They are very knowledgeable, and they understand also how to take advantage of that excitement, and how to take advantage of the emotions of you're ready to do it. You found something you like, you love the community. And like we always say, they will tell you everything great about their homes, about their community, and they will omit the questions you do not ask or you do not think to ask throughout the process. I think it's funny when we go into a community and they have highly rated school district, they lead right away with, bam, this community has number 1 A rated schools. And you go into a community where they don't have A rated schools, but they're going to talk, we're blocking block
They're not
construction. You know,
talking
they're
about
throwing,
schools yet.
they're not talking about schools. They're only talking about the good things, the location, whatever it may be. So you're going to get a lot of fluff through the situation. Maybe schools weren't even important. You know, you don't have kids in school. You're not worried about the school district, but you're going to get their A game for what is best about their product. But asking those important questions that might be omitted through the presentation is where we can really guide our people in the best direction. And I think it does start with first finding the right floor plan that fits your personal needs, has a good flow. Uh, the bedroom, bathroom count makes sense, something that will also resell in the future. You know, we like to make sure that it not only works for you, but can work for other people for the longevity of your home and your exit strategy. But then we usually spend a good amount of time looking at lots, walking the lots, walking the whole perimeter, walking down to the pond and to the water to see what the elevation is, check if there's drainage, see what's around the home site, what's on the other side of the pond. Is it trees? Are they going to build there? Is there going to be any commercial there coming in the future? Things that could impede your lifestyle while you live in the house, and then, like you said, maybe hurt the value of your home. So
and
spending a
and
good
for and
amount of
for
time on
the
the lots.
and for the person that's probably purchasing, that's out of town, out of state, relocating, can't be here for
Yeah.
those things, believe, and we bring this example up all of the time, but it just popped up again. One of my clients in the Claremont area was like, hey, on the plot map inside of the community, it showed pond, and you go there and it's a big dry ditch. It's a drainage pond,
Mhm.
right? So boots on the ground is important. If you're somebody that can't be here for that, especially for all of that, finding the lot is just one part of being present
Yes.
during the process. This is what we do for you. These are the types of videos that we do for our clients to make. We don't represent one builder, all of them here, but I think that's very important for sure.
Definitely important is finding that right lot. And then even after we do that, we like to look through the pre-plot plan to make sure that we're checking to see, is this in a flood zone? We'll hear a lot of the sales reps say, hey, it's in a flood zone now. We're in a situation where we built up the land, passed the code. We're just waiting for FEMA to re-inspect. But you know, that's still going to put you in a situation where you have to carry some of this flood insurance until FEMA re-inspects. And they really don't have date on that. It's just kind of like time and waiting. So making sure that you're getting the best piece of land, because we always mention that these builders build multiple of the floor plan you're going to choose in this community. So having the best view, the best lot location in the community, whatever it may be, is going to set you apart when someone else is coming to buy a home in this community in the future, and there's multiple different options for them with your same exact floor plan. It happens all the time, and we even have listings right now with people that are selling homes that the builder's still selling, that people in their community are selling. It's like there's a lot of competition for the same exact
we
floor
we
plan.
bring it up we bring it up from experience, people. Like, there's
Yes.
going to come a time where you might need to sell, and we want to make
Yep.
sure you set yourself apart. We're not just saying it because we believe in it, because this is what we like. We have listings, people. Like, we want to make sure that you can set your home apart from the rest, and that lot is that one way I think that you can do it. Anybody can put a reef on their front door and say, I have the blue reef, right? But like, who
Yep.
has that non-duplicatable lot? Like, that's what you're looking for.
And that's what we're able to find here in the video that you're seeing on the screen with one of our clients that was looking to build his home. We were able to locate one that was in the backside of the community. It's on a cul-de-sac, or its own little street kind of turn over there. It is sitting on a pie shaped lot, so you can see that you get more space in between your neighbors, which was beneficial for him because in that case, we were able to move his AC units to the side of the home because he does have plans to build a pool in the future. If you don't have the setback between the homes, then the AC typically will go on the back side of the home. So knowing his future plans, what he's looking for, trying to find the distance, getting that plot plan sent to pool companies to make sure that we can fit a pool on this lot, and then having to work with the construction manager to get the AC pads moved to the side of the home. All super important decisions that we had to make while we were checking out this lot. So it's beneficial for him. It's going to be beneficial for people looking at the home in the future. And I think that's going to set him aside to, you know, get top dollar for his home. But spending all of that time at the lots and making sure we were running through these questions, getting the information, quickly getting the information back from vendors, pool companies, plot plans, whatever it may be, to make a quick decision on these lots because they do sell fast. And on the weekend, I think if anybody's out looking at the model homes on the weekend, those parking lots are full. There are people out. And I think we're starting to see a little shift too from January to February in buyers in the market. And I was even speaking to a realtor in Indiana, said February's been pretty busy too for buyers. So every situation is different when you go to buy, so you really have to find out where's the leverage that we can get the best deal possible. And I think one thing that we can always try to make sure is that we're paying the right price for these lots when we're going into the builder. That's something that we definitely negotiate and have gotten some really good deals for our clients.
Man, so obviously, like the negotiating side is one aspect of it, but just keeping it along the lines of the what to look for when getting the home built. I think personally, like if you wanted to, it's like a Christmas tree. I think the lot is the most important part because I will never tell a client you shouldn't get a 4 bedroom, you should get a like whatever works for
Yeah.
you. We'll kind of insert what we think would be best, especially for like exit strategies and holding your value. Like those things do matter. But for us, the lot matters. Like you can get option A on any lot, but like the best lot matters. The best lot for you as well. So, but then once they go through that, Corey, right? And then let's just keep it level 3. They go to the structural options, right? Like you sit down with maybe the rep or a structural expert with the builder, and one of us would be there. One of the representation that the client will have will be there. And then what are we looking for in that side of things when they're going through the structural kind of sit down with the builder?
Yeah, so that's really going to be the third part of purchasing this home to get to contract and get the process started. You're going to find the floor plan you like, you purchase the lot, and then you'll sit down with one of their sales reps or structural experts on their team and go over all the options that they have in the home, whether that's, like we said, 8-foot doors. Do you want a pocket sliding door to your patio? Do you want to extend the lanai? Do you want this to be a bedroom or a den? Do you want this to be a tub or a shower? And we'll go through all those options and one, see what works best for you. Two, give you some feedback and advice on what people will want in the future of the home. Once again, thinking about your exit strategy. Working with someone recently wanted all showers, but we kind of told them, hey, leave one tub in here because the size of your home is going to really bring in families into, especially in this community with the school districts, just leave a tub because that's going to be important in your resale value. And then also telling them what, or suggesting maybe what is the price that the builder's asking for these upgrades and is it worth it. Sometimes we'll see a pre-plumbing for a water softener in the garage loop may be $300. Okay, yeah, that's something, even if you're not planning on doing it, still good to have, still good for future resale. Sometimes these options are like thousands and thousands of dollars more than what we think they're worth or could be done later for. So it's something you don't have to keep off, or you can keep off when you're going through those options, because like we said earlier, these homes have to appraise at the end of the day. And when you're building this home, you have to consider what the other homes in the community are selling for. You want to overshoot it. Depending on your loan type, it could leave you in a gap that you're paying extra money out of pocket just to get the home closed, or you're pretty much losing the deal in your deposit if you can't meet that gap. So, really considering how much this home is going to end up at the end of the day, going through those different pricing options. Each different home has a different elevation. There's maybe 4 or 5 elevations. And what that really is just the front of your home, the peaks, the roof lines, the different amount of windows. There can be one with a front porch and one that doesn't have one. You could get stone up with some of them. Some of them have like a coastal design, but there's different options in there. There's usually an included one that comes at zero cost, but it's not going to be as fancy with the front porch and the extra windows and everything as well. Also, having to consider if you do like one of these elevations, who's building the same home around you, because your home elevation can't be the same as the one next door to you, or sometimes it's 2 doors down and across the street. So if you really want a certain elevation on the home, you have to also find the right lot, 'cause maybe the one you wanted, the person next door is building the same floor plan, same elevation. So we have to make sure that all of these things line up to get you what you like in the home, but also, like we said, keep it in a reasonable price point, because a lot of these things are marked up by the builder, and we can get you some help afterwards if you want to get them done. And then there's other things that, hey, you're going to want to do with the builder 100%, and it's going to be too difficult or more cost effective, or you're pulling permits after you close to get some of these things done. So we're like, hey, we'll just kind of guide you. Maybe that's something you leave with the builder. And then also, how can we get the builder to include some of these things for us? The builder will offer a few things, like we said, gourmet kitchens with one builder. Another builder offers the pre-plumbing. One builder, the only thing they offer is baseboards. So there's different options in these upgrade that they'll offer you, but there's also credits that they can give you in the offer process to help you pay for some of these upgrades that you're going to put in. A lot of them are already offering it, but we've been able to negotiate more than what's been offered by the builders just to help you in design, keep that price point down, but still allowing you to get what you want when you're designing the home. So there's a ton of options. You'll meet with an electrical company to do outlets and camera pre-wiring, many steps that you can go through here. But we have the experience and we have the people on our side, like you said, the trades and vendors that we can get you with to do it afterwards. We know the cost of some of these things. We can get information if we need to while you're going through your structural options to make sure you're doing it the right way at the right price, and you can do it at your own time afterwards too.
So the negotiating side of things, I mean, we talk about our cap strategy, squeezing the most out of the deal. When it comes to be built, the builder is going to look at the offer way differently than it would a QMI or a quick move-in home, right? They're going to be
Yep.
reluctant to really adjust the base price of the home that much. Why? Because they got two homes that they need to sell in 30 days, and you're asking for a price reduction on a home that's going to sell in 12 months, right? 10 to
Yep.
8 to 12 months, somewhere around there, right? So the things that Corey's talking about, credits, design studio credits, maybe something off of the lot. And we really analyze the terms of the situation that the person's in, because we always preach on the team. We have one opportunity to swing the biggest, baddest offer, because when you go back and forth with negotiating, it's not about throwing in more. It's about taking away what you've already asked for, right? So when they say no to it,
Yep.
we just retract a little bit versus trying to switch things up. And that's just one of our strategies right there. So, okay, so next, once they get, and I thought you did a really good job just kind of explaining, obviously, like how we like to assess structural options, giving suggestions to our clients. The next thing I think where people do get a little, I think structural options, it's somewhat of a kind of an easy assessment for people. Like, yes, I don't want
Hmm.
to extend the lanai when I first move in. That's something I got to pull a permit for, right? So I want to go ahead and get that done now. But design studio, especially some of these bigger design studios, right? When you start to select finishes, tile, cabinetry, countertops, baseboards, I mean, you can run up a bill at the design studio. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. We've seen, depending on which builder you're working with, I think the average is going to be around 20% of the home that you've already put under contract. So that's the base price, the lot, and the structural options. Usually about 15 to 20% of that is what you'll spend in a design studio. But there's some builders where you can walk out with the $100,000 bill, and then there's other ones you can walk out with 250 to $300,000 on that bill. So kind of making sure that we understand your situation, what your end goal is for your budget, and then guide you in that direction. Like we said, everybody's got a different situation, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's their down payment, whether they have a home to sell, whether it's their loan type that they're choosing, whether they're paying cash. We were just working in a community this weekend where we mentioned that we would be paying cash for the home, and the builder the rep told us, right, oh, okay, so it's 3% off the base price for cash buyers. So that immediately put them into a better situation than the comparable builder that we were looking at, and the comparable floor plan with that other builder, by reducing the price. But now we have a little more leverage to work with too, when we're going back to builder A and saying, hey, this builder's reducing their base price because we're paying cash, but you weren't willing to give us any extra incentive for that cash purchase. So knowing which builders are offering what, how they operate, where we can leverage them. And then, like I said, at the end of the day, we're going to take you to the best option for you, because we don't have any attachments or ties to any of the builders. We do know how they operate. We do work with all of them, and we know where we can get the best deal. Another thing I was going to bring up for you too is that a lot of times these builders want you to put down a pretty substantial deposit on this home to get the process started. They're building it specifically for you, your structural options, your design options. They want to make sure you have the most skin in the game so that you're not walking away from this home that they're building from you. So they can ask for 15% for a loan to, or of the purchase price if you're doing a loan to get the process started. They can ask for 20% if you're a cash buyer, but maybe you do have a home to sell and your money's tied up in the home already. So, how do we negotiate that deposit amount? Can we get a smaller deposit? Can we break it up into payments over a certain period until your home sells and you can make the remaining payment? The second part of that is that there's typically a design studio deposit, a second deposit that they're going to require. And that could be anywhere from 20 to 30% of your design option. So if you're spending 100, you got to drop another $20,000 right after that design studio appointment, or at the design studio appointment at the end. They're going to ask you for that deposit as well. So knowing about these deposits, knowing how to break them up or how to make sure that we're negotiating the whatever works for your situation. At the end of the day, all these deposits are going towards your down payment. So it's money you either bring to the table now or you're going to bring at closing. Usually we're just looking at bringing less money to the closing table, but everybody's situation is different. So making sure that we're negotiating a deposit that's comfortable for you or a deposit schedule that the builder's willing to accept and is still comfortable for you is a very important part of getting this to be home built. Because unless you're qualifying for both homes or you already have the proof of funds in your bank account to purchase cash, they're going to make you put down a certain amount that they're going to want to hold on to right when you go to contract. So, are you prepared for that? How can we help you prepare for that? And then, how can we help you with whatever your situation may be get to that final deposit amount that they're going to want in the next couple months?
So this is the standard that we have for our clients in the to be built process, right? And so I would say when it comes to sales reps for all of the builders, I might trust 5%. I might trust 5% of them, right? Let me just be generous and say 5%. And this
Yeah.
is no shot at anybody, but everybody comes in different knowledge bases. They come a little more serious about their jobs than others. With us, it's the
Yep.
standard across the board, right? So I think that, if you don't have a rep that is looking out for you in this way, and you're just kind of hoping that you run into the right rep, that you're taking a big gamble on look how gorgeous this home is at. Like you were just walking through when you were talking. Look, you're taking a gamble on this. Don't gamble on
Yeah.
this, right? Like do the right thing. By the way, our client here paid us absolutely nothing. Got him a great deal, obviously great
Absolutely.
representation. Paid us absolutely nothing. So, but yeah, I mean, I think being generous about like the 5% thing, this is no shot. So we have preferred sales reps that we like to work with. The moment we know that we have somebody that's interested in a particular community, you better believe we're going to beat the crowd. We're going to go straight to the right person that understands how we operate, right? Like-minded people are going to work good together. So, okay. So design studio, I thought that was great. Now let's just say we got past all of that. We did any extra deposits that might be needed because we had to spend a
Hmm.
little more, try to cover a little bit of the potential appraisal issue or more skin in the game for somebody that's building a custom home here. What about the pre-drywall walk? Like what are some things that people need to look out for before the drywall goes up in your house?
Yeah, for sure. So I got a good story for you too on this one, but we're going to let the construction manager know it's the first point of contact when they reach out to us. And they say, introduce themselves, let you know when the first couple walks are be, when they're going to start pouring the slab for your home. We're going to let them know that we're doing a pre-dry walk and we already have the inspectors in place that have worked with these builders that have, so they have their credentials, their insurance, their license, so that we're moving that process along a little bit easier, a little more seamless for you. And then we kind of just let the construction manager coordinate the day and the time when we come in to do this. And the inspector gets the report to you within 24 hours, and we can hand it right over to that CM and say, hey, here's a list of items that need to be fixed. Please let us know when they're finished so we can come view them ourselves. Can we see the videos for sewer scopes if we need to? Can we see invoices that these things were corrected, addressed in the home from this pre-drywall? So when they come into that pre-drywall, they're going to want to look at the electrical throughout the home. They're going to check out those pest tubes, the HVAC, the plumbing. They're going to check the slab on the home, see if there's any cracks that may happen in the slab, which are pretty typical in the state of Florida due to the soil, dirt, sand mixture that they're building these homes on. Settlement cracks are pretty typical, but at a certain width, they need to be fixed or repaired before they can continue to build. But knowing what's behind those walls and if there's any issues before that insulation and dry wall goes up is huge, because once that's up and you haven't checked these items and went through your checklist or had at least our professional third party inspector go through the checklist, the items to make sure everything's good, we're not going to know about it. And there will be issues that will pop up down the road that you might be paying thousands of dollars for, or could potentially damage other items in your house. We were just 2 days from closing right before Christmas, and we had a client, a pipe burst in the kitchen and ruined all the cabinets, and they're ready to get their family in a week before Christmas. And so it's like, what do you do now? Are you running into the end of a lease? Are you moving? Have you already moved from another state, took your kids out of school, brought everything here, and now we're delayed 2 months for your closing? So things do happen in the process, but having our inspectors in there to make sure that we're getting things like you can see on the screen, just the foam that's sealed around these wires. Is it completely sealed? If it's not, it's like we just have them go back in there and fill up those holes. It's not too difficult to do. But once again, the builder is employing different trades to come in and do this work. And if they're moving faster, they don't think it's a big issue. They're foaming it, but not 95% of it's foam, not the whole 100%. We can get those things fixed for you to just give you the peace of mind that everything was done correctly and to the best of the ability for the builder. So definitely having these pre-drywall walks is something that we're going to look out for you for. Make sure you're with the right companies, you're getting in at the right time, something that won't be delayed because we're scrambling last minute to do. And I may think probably what 95% to maybe even more of our clients are getting a pre-drywall inspection when they have the opportunity. We do sell a lot of quick move-in homes as well, but if you have the option to see behind the walls and have a professional check it out for you, we're going to tell you to do it every time.
So I would say the most common thing, right? Obviously, things being done properly, the studs being in there properly, and all of the like kind of the fundamentals of the building of the home. But the most common thing that I think people need to be at that pre-drywall walk for is the placement of customized items in a home.
Yes.
If you got a Cat 6 over here for internet reasons, or if you got 4 outlets in this room instead of 1 because you know you're going to have nightstands over here, all of those smaller things, you would be amazed how many times they're not done properly. And you have to be there to make sure that, hey, before it goes up, this is what we have right here. And lastly, hopefully you're not doing this stuff on your own, but like we know you have to get things done in writing. You have to get things done in
Yes.
writing. So when you get things
Absolutely.
adjusted, and you will find some things, you have to get those things done in writing. That's a standard that we do have here on the team. Before we press forward real quick, a question that somebody had: buying a home. No. It was a question about a pool. Here we go. Spending 100K for a pool will increase the home value for 100,000 with a question. Is it worth building a pool? We've found that you will not get your full value out of the pool when you go back to resell the home.
Yep.
A few exceptions: if you live in a community that is a newer community and maybe it's 50 to 100 homes and they're closing out, and you have 1 of 2 homes with the pool in that community, then you have a little more leverage. But I still don't see where you're getting the full 100,000 back out of that pool. Pool is a
Yep.
luxury. All right. So don't look at it as an
Hmm.
investment. Your home will be worth more than the pool, the home that doesn't have the pool, but do not expect the whole thing. I would love for you to get half, if not more than half, but we've seen a lot less than that. Okay. Out of the pool. So, and then somebody also says, I can't imagine living in Florida without a pool. Would love to know in the comment section, everybody else, would you, could you? Be
Yeah.
surprised at how many people say they're going to get a pool, and then they get here and they're just like, I'll do it next year. And it never does happen there.
Yeah.
But with the pools, Corey, I mean, you brought up a good point earlier as we're going to press forward here about making sure the pool can fit on your lot that you have
Yeah.
before you even select that lot. How many reps, and I'm talking about the 95% of them that I just do not trust, will say, sure, you
Yep.
can get a pool. Let's walk back there
Yep.
and take a look. What are some things that can pop up on a plot plan that can impede you having maybe not just a pool, but maybe the pool of the size that you might want?
Yeah, well, first of all, I think just something super simple is that you might walk out to the back of the home and it looks like there's a bunch of land and you're like, oh, there's plenty of room for a pool. But where does the actual property line stop? And if you're doing a to be built home, who knows where they're going to set the home on the property when you're going to permitting. We've seen the home be pushed back into the backyard and then they have this really long driveway per whatever the city was doing in the permitting that said, hey, we have to push it back. We've seen them pull it to the front and then you get a bigger backyard, but it's like you can barely fit 1 car in the driveway. So, 2 different things that you might have to think about when you're doing a to be built home. Is there space? Are there any easements? Are there easements for maybe the lawn company to come back there, cut the common ground, or for a company that comes out and sprays your pond back there? Is there an easement on the side or the back of your home where you can't fence or put a permanent structure? Are there any utility easements underground, whether that might be electrical or internet cables that are running through the community that will impede you from being able to build a pool on your land? So definitely a bunch of different questions that you'll have to consider when doing that pool, and if it's even going to be possible back there, because you might get stuck in a situation where you can only put a 8 foot or 10 foot pool wide in your backyard, and if that's not appealing to you, it's definitely going to really kind of turn you off from wanting to get that home And we've seen it happen before. And just there has to be a certain amount of feet that the pool is set back from your structure on the back and from your property line as well. So knowing this information, being able to get in contact with our pool company and say, hey, here's a plot plan. Tell us if you're able to make these things happen. And that will give you the reassurance. If they give us a thumbs up, then we're good to go. But we are making sure that our clients know that. And like you said, once you move to Florida, tomorrow never comes if you think sometimes you're building the pool. And a lot of these communities, like the one we're looking at on the screen, there's a 15-acre lagoon inside the community. So if you don't want to spend $100,000 and do the maintenance and upkeep and pay for the electrical and the pool heating, you could get a $10,000 golf cart and just drive right over to your local beach that you're already paying for in your HOA fees. So there's a couple different options for that pool if you feel it's a necessity. A lot of these communities are building pools inside already.
And I got a few questions that we will get answered, but because I know this is going to be its separate kind of video here, I just want to finish it up. So I really want to, so we've gotten past the pre-drywall for everybody that's building their home out there, right? Maybe they're watching this video and they're learning a little bit. By the way, hit the like button for us if you could. Okay, so the blue tape walk, which builders call these things whatever they want to call them, right? What are some names that they call them?
Celebration walk,
New home
new home
orientation.
orientation. Yeah.
Come learn, like whatever it may be, like uniformly on the team, it's the blue tape walk. So you have the blue tape walk and then you have the final walk. Let's just run down those two real quick. Let's start with the blue tape.
Yep. So the blue tape walk is typically going to be 7 to 10 days before closing, when the home is mostly completed, so that we can go in and see all the items out in the house and make sure that they look right. In our experience, we like to have that inspection report before the first walk so we can bring it with us and go over the inspector's items. There's a couple builders that make you do your inspection on the same day as your blue tape walk, so you don't have the ability to have the report in hand. They're kind of pushing past it right there. It's saying, hey, we'll get it tomorrow and then we'll look at the items. But it's a super important walk. We like to attend every one that we can. You're going to learn about your home. You're going to learn about the mechanics, where all the outlets and which switches turn on which lights, and how to maintain your plumbing, electrical, where the water main shutoff is. But it is your opportunity to note items in the home and use that blue tape to say, touch up the paint, or this faucet wasn't working, or the hot water wasn't working in there. And we have a checklist of items. I'll be sending one to a client that's going to be in Homestead buying a home. He'll be going by himself tomorrow. But I'm going to give him the checklist of what he can do to go through, which same thing I would do. We already got him with the inspector, but now I'm going to give him the list of things. This is what you need to do step by step. Open up every window, lock the doors, make sure they all shut. Check for gaps on the front door to make sure it's sealed correctly. Check the garage door, run all the water, flush all the toilets. Like, give him a list of what we would do on that walk so he knows what to look out for on that first walk. And I think that's very important, because you only get, just like you said with the offer, you only get one chance to do this walk. On your final walk, you're going to go back and see if all the things were corrected. But the final walk is only to show you the list that you made from the first walk, if those items are repaired. If you find something on the final walk, that's not what they'll tell you. It's not what it's for. Like, you can put it into warranty and then they'll get to it whenever they get to your email and have
So
someone come
how
evaluate it.
crucial is the blue tape walk, right? The new home orientation,
It's
the
your one
celebration walk,
chance.
whatever it is, right? The first walk before the final walk, which we like to
Mm-hmm.
call the blue tape walk. Extremely important, people. Like, for those of you who are nitpicky about things, bring that energy. Like, bring that to the walk. Like, that is the time.
Don't be
And we've
afraid
been
to
in there so
nitpick. Yeah.
long before, like, bro, like, where the CM was like, whatever you guys want, I will do. But just like, it's 5 hours, just get it done. Just tell
Yeah.
me what I
Yeah.
need to do. So bring
We
that
we
energy,
tell
and
our
then the
clients,
final
don't be
walk should be a
afraid.
breeze.
Yeah, really. Don't be afraid to, if you don't like the way it looks, let's ask them to fix it. If it can look better, let's get it done. I don't
Yeah.
want you to have to live with something if you think, hey, that could be improved. The construction manager is motivated to help us. They want to make sure that when you close the home, you're going to get a little survey, and it's going to ask you, how is your sales rep? How is your lender? How is your construction manager? They want to get the highest score possible, because that report goes right up to the presidents of the company. So they want to make sure that they're taking care of you. Do not be afraid to ask if something can be improved, and we'll make, like you said, make sure we're staying in there as long as we need to make sure that everything has been checked out. And we've even had CMs try to rush us through it, right? I got another appointment to go to. It's like, I guess you're gonna be late because we're gonna make sure that we're taking our time looking at all the walls, checking all the doors, everything that we absolutely need to, because it is your one and only shot to get these items fixed. And then when you go back to the final walk, it's usually pretty simple. The home should be 100% complete. It's either the day of closing or the day before. So everything should be perfect in the home. You're just checking that list to make sure everything you went over from the first walk has been corrected, and then after that you go close your home and everything should be perfect for you. But having that inspector in place for the final walk is important. Check this out, Christian. We just went to, or we're supposed to have a final walk, first and final walk coming up soon. So we asked the construction manager, when can we get our inspector in to come? And he's like, oh no, our company now does their own third party inspection, everything's good to go. Don't worry about it. And I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. I don't, that's great that you're doing your own third party inspection.
Sure.
It really is. But we still want to do ours. And since you already had it done, can we see the report? Like, how are we knowing that? Like, but I guess this company now employs their own third party inspector at the end and just tells you everything's good. Don't even worry about it. We
Isn't
already
that
did it.
crazy? Isn't that
I
crazy?
kind of shocked me. I was
Hey,
like,
we
that's
had we
great. I'm
we
glad
had
you did
one
it.
we had
But
somebody in our company look at other builders, and we're the right one for you. We had somebody else go and do all that stuff for you, right? We had somebody that works for us inspect your home for you. No, no, I like
yes.
my inspector to have a chip on his shoulder, right? The
Yeah.
guy that puts the cigarette down before he walks in there, and he's like, "All right, let's get to like that." I
He's
want
got
somebody
no
that's gonna get in there
affiliation.
and figure it out, you know?
Yes, yes. His job is to be nitpicky. And sometimes our construction managers will be like, your inspector was really picky. And it's like, that's okay. That's exactly what we hope he does. If there's the tiniest little scratch, I want him to note it. I want him
Hmm.
to make sure that every little detail, every little inch of every wall was checked out. So it's okay if he's nitpicky. That's what he's paid to do. And he doesn't have an affiliation with any of the builders. But a
Bingo.
couple of the ones that we work with, they do a ton of new construction. So they know what to look for. One of our inspectors was like, 75% of my sewer scopes have issues on these new construction homes. So he's like, it's a very typical thing. We recommend you always get that sewer scope if possible as well. So having that report, it is crucial on the final home or on the final walk. And this is when everything's completed in the home. So now we can really check out all the items to make sure that everything was done properly. So we're not going to miss our window of opportunity. And if your builder's telling you they did it themselves and everything's good, then you might want to take a second peek at that. Or hey, can I at least see the inspection report? Like, you weren't even going to
Red
show
flag.
us or anything. Red
Red
flag.
flag.
But
Red flag.
something to look out for. And like you said,
For
hey,
sure.
if you miss your opportunity and the builder says we did it, your time's already over, your walk's at this date, you had 10 days to do it. We've seen that happen. And it's not a good situation for you when you don't get that validation, or it feels like they're trying to brush you off and just get you to the finish line.
And here's the thing. Before we wrap up this little small segment, we're going to answer some questions here for everybody that's in the chat. But like, I don't expect our clients to be overly aggressive. Like, I don't like, be who you are. And I know that there are some passive people that are out there, right? And it's not your job to be the aggressor. Like, it's your representation's job. So I can see
Yep.
how people without representation can just go along with it. Oh, okay, it's been inspected. Thank you very much, right? How does the
Hmm.
washing machine work? And get me to the closing table, please, right? So I don't know. I just like I don't think it's our people's job, but like if you're the person that's trying to strap it up and do it on your own, I mean, more power to you. But I think that's the kind of mentality you have to come in with, right? And you do need
That's what
that
we're here for,
inspector, that
right?
the one that finds 75% of the sewer scope stuff in, like that's the one we want. Like we
Oh,
want to
yeah.
find stuff in there, right? Because it's your
You don't want to
hopefully
have
it's your
to
dream
manage
home.
this. If you're out of state and you're selling a house and packing and moving and getting a new job and getting your kids in new schools, you don't want to have to manage this
I
also.
agree.
That's what you have us for. Like I said, we're doing it for free of charge to our clients to be able to
Hmm.
go through this 8 to 10 month process and guide them all the way along the way as the builders taking care of our fees and commissions throughout the process. So it's almost a no-brainer for people that call us. And I think it brings us, our whole team, a lot of joy when we're able to make sure that our families are happy when they're closing on these homes.
All right, so the only good pool choice in Florida is like owning a boat. The best answer is have a friend who owns a pool or boat. Seriously, find a community with a pool, and you will be happier. That's a really good strategy, right? If you can have a neighbor or a friend that has a pool, or you have a community with it, like
Community pool, yeah.
it's almost like the kid thing, right? Like some people that don't have kids, they're like, I just go, hang out with my nephew real quick, and then I don't have to deal with them,
Yeah.
all the
Yeah,
other
that's
stuff that
me.
comes along
I'm the
with it.
super uncle. It's very easy. And when you're done, you just give it right back. You don't got to pay for everything.
All right, so let me work on these. But they always pop up so randomly here. All right, so question you were mentioned. Yeah, question you mentioned lifestyle is a large component when determining the community. Do you recommend renting in an area for a few months, or would a week vacation be long enough to figure it out? This is a really, really good question. I actually
Yep.
spoke to somebody today that decided to rent. I would say if you're torn between multiple places that are not close to each other, I would say spend about a month in each of them, right? If they are like Tampa and Orlando, I would do a month and a month. If you are in the kind of in the same if you're in, let's just say, Wesley Chapel, and you're torn between three communities in Wesley Chapel, I think within a month you can get that part figured out. Right.
Yep.
So that's just my thought. But yeah, there are, and somebody also asked if they had a secondary home, do we have resources for short-term rental kind of opportunities for them? Yeah, we'll get you taken care of whenever you do make that happen. We can make sure that we have somebody that can rent your home out for you. But Corey, what's your thoughts on the short-term rental side of things for people that are trying to figure out what their lifestyle is? Maybe they're new to Florida.
I do think that a lot of our clients come in town for a vacation to come tour these homes, and we always kind of direct them to do a little self-guided tour, drive through the area, see what the traffic's like, see what there is to do, if it's, fits your family lifestyle. I would think if you're looking between, like you said, Tampa, Orlando, Jacksonville, spending a good amount of time in each one could take, like, a month, if not longer. We had someone recently come down for three, almost 4 weeks, and they spent some time in Wesley Chapel, some time in Riverview, a little time in Sarasota, but really were able to hone in on the community and the city that they wanted to be in. But I mean, some people know right away they want to be Wesley Chapel. So now I think in a week you can definitely go through the communities in the area and just see like what the proximity is to grocery stores, shopping, anything, the nightlife, whatever you're into. So it depends on each person's situation, what they're kind of specifically looking for in a lifestyle. But I think that lifestyle question is where we can really help people and push them to the best direction, because there's so many things to do in Florida. A lot of times our people are doing these to be built homes and then they're selling their home before, so they are looking for those short-term rental properties that, I guess it would be in this case a long-term Airbnb or something where they can be local, for the next couple months or in the interim. And we've helped people look for those properties too. Or even if you're doing your own research, I'm like, hey, send it over to me and I'll let you know what I think about maybe the area, the neighborhood and location, to make
Right.
sure that we can get you in the best direction with that too. But you got to spend some time in Florida, and we can tell you what these areas are like, and we can say that we like something, but everyone's got a different view and opinion. So I think a little bit of that self-guided tour where you get to drive around with your family, have that
Way more
conversation
important
in
than
the car,
following a freaking
way
car to
more important
community
than
to
me saying,
community.
hey, this place is great, so let's
Yeah.
go over here and check it out. We'll give you some options, and then you make the decision, and once you know where you want to be, then we can really hone in on the community builder floor plan for you.
The best way that we like to suggest it is, first and foremost, come down, whether it's, if you got 4 days, spend the first day and a half on your own exploring. Don't walk into any model homes. I know it's hard to do, but explore on your own and get an understanding for what you like or dislike from that first initial
Yeah.
drive. And then you can kind of shave off from there. And then we can start to, it's once again, it's a little more valuable doing it that way versus following Corey's Tesla around to different communities. And then you don't get to see the day-to-day things, stopping for lunch, going by the school and seeing if, what the area or the drive would be like. All right, last question before we hop off here. This is a good question, actually. Build a home versus already built home new. How much more are you paying to build it yourself, if any? I don't know if I have an exact number, but I will tell you this based on our experience and our ability to use our cap strategy to extract the most out of most of the deals. To be built, we have been getting on discount, and the to be built process, once again, the builders they're less incentivized to start knocking homes down that are going to be sold in 12 months, right? They want you to buy the
Yeah.
inventory that's there. And so we're really getting the most out of that deal. So I would say an already built home, but there's going to be a little bit of compromise maybe in there. Maybe it's this backsplash and you're like, I love everything about the home, but this backsplash, maybe
Hmm.
that's the compromise for a good deal.
Yeah, and I would say with one of the semi-custom builders that we were in this weekend in the community, they did do to be built homes, and they offered packages for the homes. Package could be $50,000. They had one for $90,000. But in those packages, you have zero selections. You get everything within that package: counters, floors, cabinet color, faucets, everything that's in the package. You just pick A, B, C, or D. no other selections. But I think we find that people at a certain after a certain price point, they want to just pick their finishes. If you're going to pick a $90,000 package, I would say you might as well go to the design studio and
Seriously.
spend 100,000 or spend 110,000 and get exactly what you want. So I would say it kind of goes both ways depending on if you want something specific or if you're just trying to be affordable on the to be built route. But I would say always the quick move in is where we're going to find the best deal because we know that the builders like they're going to throw everything they can at you to get a house sold. We've seen some sitting around for 2, 3 months from the builder, and they are very, very motivated to sell that home. When you're picking your lot, your floor plan, you're choosing how you want the structure to look inside, and then designing the home, they're just less incentivized to give you a really good deal. However, we've been striking some gold lately
Sure.
with those to be built homes. We've been getting some really good deals for our clients, but that's how from using our cap strategy and knowing how to present an offer that will be accepted by the builder.
This is my last question for everybody. What's your thoughts on this right here? Wood frame home or no?
Wood
Let me know
frame.
in the comment section down
I
below,
thought
man.
we
This,
learned from the three little piggies, man. What's going on?
yeah, that's actually
I
a
thought we
good one there.
learned.
But just based on what you were talking about with the to be built process, it all starts with finding the right home and the right lot, right? Like I
Yeah.
think everything else falls into place with us that we really lot shop for our people. Figure out what layout you like, which floor plan, which community you like. We're going to weigh out the pros and the cons because because we don't work for the builder. We're going to tell you the good and the bad about everything. But for me, like if any of the agents on the team send me a deal, look what we're putting together today. I'm always oohing and awing over the lot, right? The first thing that comes out, I'm like, man, that lot, that's it. And they're like, well, what do you think about the floor? The lot to me matters the most. You have anything else for them, Corey, before we hop
Yes,
off?
yes. No, I was just gonna piggyback off that right there, saying the lot. The person we helped this weekend got a double pond lot, conservation in the back. But another important part was, do you want the home to swing right garage or left garage? Because when you're inside that kitchen, your view's kind of angled out one side of your home. So we're trying to figure out which side is better to have it on based off of your sight lines in the home. And all of these homes are already pre-electrical and pre-plumbed. So does it cost money to switch it to the other side? It already comes one way from the builder. So very, like I said, many decisions that go into this to be built. And whether you built 10 homes in your life, but you haven't in Florida, or this is your first one, you got to have some experts on your side that really know the process and going to look out for your best interest, not just the deal, but also the design of your home as well.
There you have it, everybody. Okay, I have to get it's 6 o'clock. All right, 6 o'clock
Got to put the
Eastern. I
kids to
love
bed.
you all. Yeah, I got to get home to the kids. I love you all. Make sure you hit the like button for us. By the way, best way to shop for homes, you go to morefla.com. Take a look at this one right here. Okay, so
I got
let's
to check that
go.
out.
Check out Seaflower if you could. This is where most of our community breakdowns are happening. This has to be the closest to the intercoastal new construction development that I have seen and covered. Take a look at this. You can read up on it, morefla.com. We will catch you guys next week. See ya.
See you.